Asked my girlfriend to stop talking with a friend who she had of friends with benefits thing before she met me. We've been dating for 4 months. Early on, we talked about boundaries and what we were comfortable with. When we decided to be exclusive, she told me she had made it clear to a guy she sometimes saw that they weren't going to meet anymore. She was vague about it, but I didn't care much about her past relationships. I was focused on the present. As time went on, we had deeper conversations about friendships with the opposite gender. I told her that, besides the friend group she had already met, I rarely spoke to female friends, just the occasional birthday message or travel recommendation. She told me she mostly had girlfriends but regularly talked to a guy friend from high school. She even asked if I wanted her to stop talking to him, showing me their messages, which seemed completely normal. I told her I didn't mind. Then we took our first trip together, a dream getaway to a tropical island. Everything felt perfect. I noticed some notifications from her guy friend while we were there, but thought nothing of it. I trusted her. One night, we casually talked about our past flings. She even showed me a calendar she kept, noting past partners. It didn't bother me. We both had history. I laughed when I saw she wrote my first and last name. Turns out, she had already been with someone else with my first name. On the second day of our trip, her phone lit up with a notification from her guy friend. It was just a question about the weather, but something about it made me pause. I gave in to curiosity, unlocked her phone, and skimmed their conversation. It was normal, but then I saw that she had texted him, "Good morning," at 6 a.m., while I was still asleep. I told myself I was overthinking. I pushed the feeling down, and we had an amazing day at the beach. That night, we had a beautiful dinner, and she barely touched her phone. But something nagged at me. Then it hit me. Her guy friend had the same first name as me. He wasn't just a friend from high school, he was the FWB she had been seeing before we got together. I barely slept that night. I had never thought this would bother me, but it did. I completely trusted her, but the idea of her regularly talking to a past fling, especially during our first trip together, didn't sit right with me. I felt like I had agreed to something without knowing the full picture. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about boundaries. It felt like the emotional equivalent of her still chatting with an ex. I wanted to talk to her, but I struggle with difficult conversations because of my level 1 autism. It took me 2 days to find the words. Finally, while watching the sunset, I told her. I explained that I hadn't realized her friend was the same person she used to sleep with and that, while I knew their conversations weren't flirty, it made me uncomfortable. She apologized immediately, admitting she should have told me everything up front instead of bit by bit. Then she asked if I wanted her to stop talking to him. I said yes. Without hesitation, she blocked him. That felt off. I told her it didn't seem right to just cut him off without explanation. So she unblocked him and messaged. Hey, it's best for us to stop talking. His response was simple. It's fine, kind of figured this message would come someday. I'm still your friend, and if you ever need something, I'm here. Then she blocked him again. And that was that. Now, I'm left feeling conflicted. She did what I asked, but was it okay for me to ask in the first place? Did I overstep? Or was this a reasonable boundary? I trust her completely, but I can't shake the feeling that this whole thing could have been avoided if I had known everything from the start.